Hello and welcome to my channel. Welcome to another tarot reading from me. I am going to be doing predictions for April 2025. I totally completely forgot that we entered the month of April. I again have had a lot of work at my corporate job, which I absolutely hate but yet cannot quit. Like they have not been giving me the minimum amount of 2 days off per week, and I am absolutely drained and about to burn out. Hope not. But anyway, that's the introductory rant. So I was thinking, these past couple of days, I was like, oh my god, I haven't posted anything on my tarot channel in a while again, and I won't even get into the astrology channel that I haven't posted anything at for like over 2 weeks. But I was like, oh, what should I do as another tarot reading? And then I realized that the month of April started and I haven't done the monthly predictions. And yeah, I know I'm again a bit late, but better late than never. I still think that it should be done. I know that some of you look forward to the monthly readings, and honestly, I like these readings as well. So yeah, there it is. As usual, I have chosen the crystals intuitively. I meditated upon the question of which crystals I should choose for this particular topic, and these are the ones that came out in this order. So this is for those of you who want to choose with just crystals. Pile number 1, you have this fluorite crystal. Pile number 2, you have this red jasper crystal. Whoops. Yep. Okay. Pile number 3, you have this milky quartz crystal. All right. So these are your options. You can pause the video if you need more time to decide. Hold on, I have to arrange them. Let me see. Yeah, that's good enough, I think. Good enough. Anyway, so you can pause the video if you need more time to decide. Once again, my recommendation is that you take some deep breaths, meditate upon the question with your eyes closed, exhale longer than you inhale a few times. That will help center you and calm you down. And then open your eyes and choose the first pile that stands out to you intuitively without overthinking it. And yeah, if you feel drawn to more than one, of course, feel free to choose several or even all of them and just take whichever messages resonate. And before I sign off, I will remind you to please subscribe to my channel if you have found value in any of my readings. It's the easiest way to support me and it is free. Also, consider clicking on the notifications bell if you want to be notified anytime I post a new tarot reading. And also, don't forget to comment in the comment section with any feedback you would like to share. Also, feel free to check in with this reading throughout the month of April, see how it progresses. Yep, you can basically share anything in the comment section as long as you keep it respectful, okay? And yep, I will see you at your reading. So hello again, this is for those of you who want to choose with a card as well as a crystal. This is going to be the selection phase for the card for each crystal. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. What is the month of April 2024 bringing for them? I automatically turned it over. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. What is the month of April going to bring for my pile number 2? Wow, so much green. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. What is the month of April 2025 gonna bring for pile number 3? The milky quartz. Tell me, Spirit. Help me choose a card. All right, this one. Wow, very nice cards. I've said this in other readings. I don't know how many of you have paid attention, but maybe if you followed a lot of my videos, you know that I've said this, that I always find it fascinating how when I choose the crystals, and well, I always do it this way. I choose the crystals first, and then I choose a card for each crystal. And when I choose the cards, oftentimes the colors match. Like they're so... like this one is green, this one is super green, this one is red, this one has some red, this one is white, and look, she's wearing white. I don't know. Okay, maybe I'm just seeing things, but a lot of the times, if you pay attention, the cards seem to match in colors and vibes and everything. So let me zoom in. Okay, so this is for those of you who want to choose with a card as well as a crystal. These are your options. Pile number 1, you have this card over here with wishes and or this fluorite crystal. Trying to get it to focus. There it is. Any day now. Well, you saw it. Okay. Pile number 2, you have this card over here and or this red jasper crystal. Pile number 3, you have this card over here and or this milky quartz crystal. All right. So you can pause the video if you need more time to decide. Once again, as usual, actually, my recommendation is that you take some moments to meditate upon the question. You can also ask more specialized questions about things that you want to find out when it comes to your April predictions. You can address the question to a higher power like God, Spirit, your guardian angels, Kali, Durga, doesn't matter, whoever you believe in, your higher self, right? And after you've meditated upon the question a while with your eyes closed, taking some deep breaths, exhaling longer than you inhale, that helps center and calm you down. Open your eyes and choose the first pile that stands out to you intuitively without analyzing or overthinking. And of course, if you feel drawn to more than one pile, feel free to watch several or even all of them and just take whichever messages resonate. And before I sign off, I will remind you to please subscribe to my channel if you have found value in any of my readings. It's the easiest way to support me and it is free. Also, consider clicking the notifications bell to see when I upload a new tarot reading. And of course, feel free to share this video with anyone that you want to share it with, people who are interested in tarot. Also, comment in the comment section with any feedback you would like to share. Feel free to check up on this video throughout the month of April and see how the predictions progress. And of course, feel free to share the feedback. And thank you very much, and I will see you at your reading. Hello, pile number 1. This is your reading if you have chosen this card, number 1 with wishes. Very cute. Well, I love this deck. Actually, every card is cute in this deck. This is a cat sort of waving or reaching towards the sun, and this is a fairy over here, and there's another fairy over here. It's a really cute card. Sorry that the quality of the video maybe is not that clear, but yeah, you can see it, I think. Anyway, it's very cute. Taking a moment to appreciate the art here. And or this fluorite crystal. So this is going to be the card selection phase. I'm going to add timestamps. You can skip directly to the interpretation because I will be taking my time. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. What is the month of April 2025 going to bring for pile number 1? Let's see. We have the Empress. Wow, the Sun. Not bad already. Page of Pentacles. Queen of Cups, the Hermit, the Fool. Ooh. Let's see, pile number 1. Let's see, Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. Okay, have to fix this. Tell me about pile number 1. What is the month of April 2025 going to bring for pile number 1? Tell me. Knight of Wands. 6 of Wands? What is going on here? I'm getting that song in my head by Queen. I want it all. I want it all. Anyway. Knight of Cups, we have Justice, we have 3 of Pentacles, and we have the Star. Are you kidding? Let's get some Oracle cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. What is coming for them in April 2025? 2025. I was going to say 2021 for some reason. Maybe 2021 was an important year for you. Please comment in the comment section. Maybe that's when you started something you're working at. I don't know why that came to my mind. Not everything has to mean something though, but I just thought I would mention it. And let me get another one of these. I really love this deck, the Shaman Wisdom cards. Tell me about, oh, this one. Oh, this one just asserted itself. So let's see. 64 sky, masculine, air. 64 boils down to, ding, 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 number 10 in numerology, which in turn turns into a number 1 because it's 1 plus 0, which is exactly the same number you have here. See, that's already a, what's the word? A coherent message, repeated message, however you want to call it. And now let's see, we have humpback whale singer. Sing healing songs for the world. Your inner navigation always guides you. Nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal. Align with your purpose and the power in your soul. And we have anger, number 9. Anger issues. And we have number 21. Okay, and this just looks like a lot of obstacles with a burning sun. For some reason, I'm getting that song. It's a big, big hard sun, burning on the people all around the world. Something like that. I don't know who sang it originally, but I know that it was covered by Pearl Jam. Or Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam. Anyway, this card, number 21, which by the way is ruled by Jupiter. You have a lot of fire already. You have 9, which is ruled by Mars. And then you have 21, which is ruled by Jupiter. We also have the number 8 here, which can be seen as corresponding to, again, more Mars, actually. So these cards, they're written in French. I actually am not fluent in French or anything. I speak a little bit, but let me see. What does 21 say? Yeah, mountains. I could see that. Okay. Yeah, it's related to obstacles, challenges, resistance. Resistance. And this card, I have to read the description for it from the... Oh my God. This one is also, yeah, oh yeah, that's the one. 64. No, I thought there was another one. See, I shouldn't be recording at this hour, but y'all, I have no time to record it when I'm rested, so bear with me. Bear with me being like an Alzheimer's patient here, like, oh my God, is it the shame card? I thought I saw it again. Anyway, so 64, sky, masculine, air. I am sky, I am father, I am grandfather. It is to me that all life comes. I am the place of power. Look to me for your power. It is to me the upper world that the shaman journeys for enlightenment and creativity. Look up to the sky for spiritual direction. It is to me that all look for the future. I am the 6th direction honored. I am the branches of the sacred tree of life. Lift your spirits to the heavens for my unlimited energy. I am the masculine energy, the electric, the yang, the right side. I am the great spirit. Well, one thing it is not is modest. Just saying. Anyway, that makes a lot of sense because I already said so much fire, so much fire. So you have sun because the number 1 came out twice. And we have the star. We actually have the sun also as a card here. So number 1 is ruled by the sun in numerology. Number 9 is ruled by Mars. 21 is ruled, it boils down to a 3. It's ruled by Jupiter. So there's a lot of fire going on, a lot of expansion, which makes sense because we have some very positive cards here. So I see that from the beginning. So at the beginning of the month, actually, or at the beginning when you read this, when you come across this reading, actually, to let you in on a little secret, when you choose a pile from any tarot reading, you could just say, you know, when it comes to these monthly predictions, you could just say, Spirit, what does the next month hold for me, you know, or the next 30 days hold for me. When it comes to like time frames, right, you can just ask a different question and just use the reading and go for whatever attracts you, and that will give you some answers connected to your question. So even though this is specifically for April 2025, you could use it at any point later if you know how to use it. Anyway, when you start this month, so at the moment you come across this reading, you are not in a bad spot. You're doing pretty well. You have the Empress, the Knight of Wands. This looks like, first of all, irrespective of your gender, you probably feel quite attractive. So, and also again, we have the number 3, which is ruled by Jupiter. So Jupiter is a planet connected to prosperity, to development, to growth in a positive sense. So I think you feel like you're on either on a winning streak, or like you're about to, about to start a winning streak. So like you feel like you're on the right direction, basically. Maybe some of you, for the first time in a long time, you feel like things are actually improving, no matter how slow, but they are improving. You also have a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of drive because of that Knight of Wands energy. And then you have the Sun and the 6 of Wands in support. This is insane. This is basically Spirit saying that you cannot go wrong this month. So you're like on a sure path towards success. 6 of Wands, all about success, right? The Sun, all about success, all about positivity and glowing and getting success and recognition. But the 6 of Wands also speaks of recognizing your achievements up until this point. So even if maybe to some extent you feel like you are not achieving things as quickly as you would like maybe you haven't gotten everything you've wanted yet, it's important to be grateful for what you have, to take a step back, look at yourself from the outside perspective and be like, oh, okay, I have achieved this, this, and this. So every now and then, give yourself a pat on the back and remind yourself how far you have come. And then we have the Page of Pentacles, we have the Knight of Cups, which are in opposition. This is, there are a few ways to read this, but because Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups both are quite youthful, overall, actually, there's a lot of youthfulness here, okay? We do have the Queen and the Empress, but there's a lot of youthful Peter Pan-ish sort of energy. And hey, I actually thought about Peter Pan when I saw this card, but I didn't say anything about it, because of the fairies. It makes me think of Tinkerbell. So I'm seeing kind of a youthful spirit. I'm seeing a rebirth overall, because we also have the Fool here. So this is the beginning of a new chapter by the end of this month. But let me not jump to the end directly. The Page of Pentacles, like I was saying, with the Knight of Cups, this speaks of you being impatient. It also speaks of you being highly idealistic, because the Knight of Cups is about dreaminess, fairy tales, sugar spice, and everything nice. It's a very romantic sort of energy. It's kind of like the young, idealistic dreamer, like the prince who wants to save the princess. And that explains all the Jupiter going on over here. But I'm going to get to the Astro Dice and Astro Cards in a bit. Because Jupiter is the planet of idealism, of faith, shooting for the stars. Hello, the stars. You are literally going to be shooting for the stars. I mean, look at this. Look at this. The Fool. It's a new beginning, throwing yourself headfirst into something. And then we have the Star. Anyway. But what I think could be getting in your way, at least to some extent, is your impatience, being overly idealistic. So, for instance, let me give an example. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you have Jupiter in the 10th house, natally. Or you have a prominently placed Jupiter, like maybe you have Jupiter conjunct other planets, especially if it's conjunct Rahu or Ketu. That would definitely show a very Jupiterian person. Or having Jupiter in a very prominent house in your horoscope. Jupiter in the 10th, like I said, or in the 1st. Not so much the 1st, actually. I would say the 10th is most, Jupiter in the 10th is the most fitting for the energy that I'm seeing here. And what I was gonna say about that is people with Jupiter in the 10th, they tend to be so idealistic that it becomes a problem for them when it comes to maintaining a career, when it comes to getting success, maybe even getting their footing in a new career. Like they sometimes might, shoot themselves in the foot when they start, because the world today is extremely ruthless and full of deception. And a person who has a strong Jupiter, especially someone with Jupiter in the 10th, cannot separate their belief systems from their profession. So they're the kind of people that will be like, sure, I will work hard for your corporation, but as soon as they see something seedy, which, let's be honest, is happening in probably every corporation and every business, right? There are things that are unfair, that are not right, that are not morally sane. The person with Jupiter in the 10th house will constantly be dragging their feet and even outright getting into conflict, with the people at work, especially with authority figures, because what they see around is contradicting how they want to live their lives and the kind of environments they want to see, and their strong belief system of what is right and what is wrong. Just to give you an example, Jordan Peterson has Jupiter in the 10th house. And while he has actually become very successful, let's not forget that he was actually he got in trouble with universities. He got in trouble with, I think, even politicians in Canada. They tried to take his license to teach because he was so vocal about his belief system. See, a person who doesn't have Jupiter in the 10th house wouldn't do that. They would just be like, okay, yeah, I think they're idiots, but I'm not going to tell them. I'm just going to shut up and play along with the program so I can get my check. But a person who has strong Jupiter, they, like I said, they can really shoot themselves in the foot when it comes to, getting money and getting career. So, and again, I'm not trying to say, hey, be deceitful. But honestly, the sad reality is, in some situations, this is the world that we live in. Sometimes you need to learn to shut up and get with the program until at least you are in a position where you can start to be picky. And I say this because this is the kind of vibe that I'm getting, of a person who still stubbornly clings to how things should be or the way that they want things. They have like a, very specific view of how things should be done and how things should run in the world. And you might get into conflicts because of that. Either get into conflicts, or it could actively prevent you from progressing. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are a diehard vegan and you get a job offer from a company that you find out tests their products on animals, right? You would probably not take the job. If you're a diehard vegan with Jupiter in the 10th house, you would almost certainly not take the job. Unless you're going through a particular transit, maybe through the Rahu Mahadasha. Rahu is more deceitful. Anyway, we live in the age of Rahu. We live in the age of Aquarius, the only sign of the 12 signs of the zodiac that is co-ruled by Rahu, which is the north node of the moon. But Rahu is how Vedic astrologers call it. And Rahu is the lord of deception. That's why everything, is very deceptive nowadays. And there's so much manipulation and so much hyper-materialism, and an absence of spirituality. But anyway, I don't know how I digressed into some kind of big philosophical discussion here. Back to the spread. The Queen of Cups with the Justice here. Oh my God. Now after I've given this whole big speech, I see how it plays out actually into exactly what I just said, I think. What I heard in my mind is no more Mrs. Nice Girl or no more Mr. Nice Guy. This is what I'm hearing. Like, this is you in April. So what I'm seeing here with the Queen of Cups and the Justice is that you have been the kind of person, again, hello, sense of justice. You've been the kind of person who played it by the book. You did everything right. You, again, are probably someone who has a strong sense of justice. You know, you want things to be done right. You want to be fair. You want to be around people who are fair in all their dealings. I think you're also the kind of person who has a lot of empathy. Probably you were probably the kind of person who always put yourself in other people's shoes before making a decision, before interacting. It actually, like when I saw this card, the first thing I thought about was anger management. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, Anger Management. It's an old one. At this point, it became very old, but I just lost track of the years. I think it came out in 2003, but it's worth watching if you haven't seen it. It's a comedy with Adam Sandler and Jack Nicholson. And now I'm kind of thinking about whether I should give spoilers. The movie is definitely worth watching. It's really funny and also has a message and all that. But the general idea, okay, let me tell you one theme of the movie. It's not everything, it's one theme. Is this guy was sent to anger management that because he had an angry outburst. But everyone who knew him was like, oh, he's such a nice guy. You know, like what? He had an angry outburst? Like, people couldn't believe it, right? And the truth is that he was actually someone who was very repressed, was repressing a lot of anger, and eventually that anger started to seep out and he started to have all kinds of outbursts, right? And so this is the kind of vibe that I'm getting here. Is like maybe you were the kind of person who were afraid to make waves, who was afraid to, was afraid to start any kind of conflict, you know, was afraid of upsetting other people. And now you're done with that. That is the past for you, right? In this new stage, you are working through those feelings. You know, you're working through no longer repressing healthy anger and realizing that sometimes you might be justifiably angry and that you have to allow yourself to feel angry when you feel angry. No point in repressing it. And also not taking crap. That's a wonderful thing. It always is. And then we have the Hermit. We have the Three of Pentacles. This is the near future. And actually, I want to clarify. Spirit, hold on. Please clarify the Hermit for me. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, I want to clarify the Three of Pentacles as well. Please clarify the Three of Pentacles, Spirit. Oh my, Nine of Cups. Oh my gosh. You know how I read this? You're not even gonna, you don't even see how much better your life is going to get. Now, I cannot promise that this is going to be by the end of April 2025. This could take a while. But this is the near future, all right? Could take a while, but not too long. Now, of course, near future is relative. Some people would say, well, that's 3 months. Some people would be like, well, that's 2 years. Either way, you know, it's the near future. So whatever you feel comfortable, feel free to claim that time interval of whatever near future is in your vocabulary. But in the near future, you are getting wish fulfillment. Look at this. The Nine of Cups is literally the card of wish fulfillment. And you have the first oracle card called Wishes. You know, another song that is coming in my mind, which again is pretty old, is, I think it's from the 90s. It was something like, dreams can come true, la 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 la. You know you got to have them. You know you got to be strong. Okay, I don't remember, obviously. I was just humming over there. I don't remember what the full lyrics are, but I used to love that song when I was a kid. And that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting here. But I think here's the thing with the Hermit and the Knight of Pentacles. I'm definitely seeing hard work is about to pay off big time in the near future. So you're here like busy focusing on your craft, and I feel like some of you maybe are even bored and disenchanted with your path to some extent, or you feel like things are taking too long. You feel like you are stuck maybe in doing a lot of monotonous things, or you feel like you're not growing as fast as you would, but you're heading towards massive success. You're going to achieve a lot, and it's not just, let me rephrase that. It's not necessarily success in the most socially acceptable. If it is, I mean, if you want social success, of course, that's what it means. But the bottom line is the Nine of Cups is about happiness. It's about whatever it is that you want that is coming towards you. And basically, it's happening while you are focusing on doing your thing. You're focusing on your duty. You're focusing on being patient. You're focusing on being disciplined and taking things, you know, one day at a time. But all of these little steps are actually heading towards a very big success. And I mean, look at this. The ultimate outcome is the Fool and the Star. This is a massive new beginning. You getting more recognition. If you are in any way connected to social media, or you are in some kind of a position where, you know, you have visibility, you're going to see a massive increase of your visibility, of your popularity, and of course everything that comes with it, which means an increase of finances, an increase of overall success, respect, and everything, all the sugar, spice, and everything nice. With the mountains here, and have you seen that there was a symmetry actually between the description of this card and the messages between this card and this card? So you have been working hard, okay? You have been working hard, and I think you're still going to have to work hard. And overcoming a lot of obstacles. But ultimately, this is going to pay off. And here we have another gigantic image of the sun, okay? A big, hard, burning sun. Okay, let me see the Astro cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. What is coming towards them in the month of April 2025? Okay, they wanted to come out. We have Pluto, shadow and mysticism. This is the co-ruler of Scorpio. We did have the number 8 coming out twice. We have 9th house, Jupiter, learning and faith. Aquarius, the visionary, Rahu. Capricorn, I was going to say Capricorn. I should have said it. It was at the tip of my tongue, but I thought, nah, I'm not going to say Capricorn when I see mountains. That's too predictable. That's how my brain functions, as if anyone can read my brain. But like, I'm having these internal dialogues with myself, like, no, I can't say that. It's too predictable. It's too obvious. Come on. Anyway, Gemini. And here we have the Gemini. Here we have that little Peter Pan archetype. Sixth house, work and routine. Sixth house is also about overcoming challenges. So I have to say, with this obstacles in the sixth house and also the anger, I think this is also still going to be a month where you have to really, you know, learn some effective anger management. So learn how to channel your anger into something productive, how to manage it in a way that is not, again, gonna make you shoot yourself in the foot and impede your progress. And I definitely see with Capricorn 6th house, this is not surprising. I think you, in this group, you're very much focused on career. Maybe even something higher than career. I think you have a dream that you have been pursuing maybe for a long time. Capricorn definitely speaks of that slow and steady wins the race sort of energy. We also have Aquarius. So there's a considerable amount of Saturn energy, which speaks of overcoming obstacles and frustrations. But it also speaks of getting rewards after a long time of putting in persistent effort. So see how that resonates. If you are someone who you have been putting persistent effort into something, it shows that results are going to be coming soon. If you are coming across this reading and you're thinking, well, I haven't worked hard towards anything in recent history, This is definitely kind of a wake-up call that is pushing you towards finding something worth investing in. Something that makes you feel alive, basically, that makes you feel authentic, that gives you purpose and meaning. That's why you have these cards over here. The humpback whale, the singer, that's what it talks about as well as this card. So we also have 6th house. Again, with the routine, I think that means that many of you are going to be potentially rethinking your routine, taking care of your health. If you have had health problems, you're definitely focusing on healing, on managing them. Aquarius and the star, that's a very strong correlation here. Aquarius is about pursuing a vision. Yeah, I think you're like the big dreamers here. I think you're pretty big dreamers, most of you in this pile. 9th house, like I said, Jupiterian is ruled by growth, education. So more specifically, taking it down to earth now, many of you could be dealing with maybe starting a new job, or you're just very focused on your daily routine. You're putting in a lot of effort towards something. You're being consistent. You're taking care of your body. You're becoming more health conscious. You could be going through medical treatments, you know, going and getting those health checkups that you have been putting off. And this could also be about pets. You have to spend time on pets. You have to really focus on pets. Might be potential issues with pets. And this could be about competition and enemies. So you might be dealing with more competition, more enemies than usual. That could explain the anger thing. So I think the message is be careful that you don't... I just got another song. Don't look back in anger. Oh my God. You can tell that I'm old by the songs that I think about. And now Sally can't wait. She knows it's too late while she's walking on by. Something like that. It was by Oasis. Basically, yeah. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. That's the general message. And also the Gemini thing, I think this communication ability, your intellectual abilities, your curiosity and your ability to learn are going to be top notch during this month. We have the 9th house, we have Gemini. So some of you, I think, could be very focused on learning new things, learning new skills, maybe even getting a formal education. And with Pluto, again, there's an undercurrent of transformation. Like the whole month is going to be about you turning the page, you know. You're in a transitional phase still, but you're like heading towards a totally new chapter of your life. And this could also be about getting in touch with your faith. That's interesting because, hello, it is the month of Easter. Yeah, and I think it's also Ramadan, isn't it? So a lot of religious stuff going on in April. So see how that resonates. I don't know. But yeah, some of you could be getting back in touch with your sense of faith. Maybe not necessarily a organized religion, but you could be rethinking things. You know, you could be changing your belief systems, maybe picking up a book on philosophy, or, you know, you're going to be drawn to things that cultivate the higher mind, you know, and seeing things from different perspectives. But yeah, this is pretty much what I have for you. Pile number 1. Okay, let me take the Astro dice, even though I wasn't going to do it because I was like, that's it, this reading is too long, but what the heck, let me do it. So, Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. What is the month of April 2025 going to bring for them? Number 2, this could be the 2nd house. We have Pisces, okay, that's water. And we have Venus. That's interesting because we have the Empress as the first card. That's very Venusian. So, with Venus and Pisces, well, Venus is exalted in Pisces. So this could really bring a lot of material success, also romance, but when it comes to romance, this is about a spiritual love. So again, it actually makes me think more of you. A lot of you are getting back in touch with religion, with a sense of faith in a higher power. But with Venus being in Pisces, this could also be about, you know, being in a more loving state, being more creative, more artistic as well, wanting to spend more time towards your hobbies or anything that is creative, really creating beauty and love around in your environment. And I definitely see an increase in your finances by the end of this month. Also, the second house is the house of the joint finances. Sorry, not joint finances. It's actually the house of fixed assets. So again, see how that resonates. Some of you might actually be purchasing something that would be very literal, like some kind of fixed assets. But for the most part, second house is about money, savings, finances. So these things are all going to come to the forefront. And then, of course, the second house is also about your appetite for food. So maybe your diet is going to take up a lot of your time. Maybe you're rethinking your diet, because we also have the sixth house, which is very connected to health. And then the second house is also the house of the family of origin, which again, actually, I think makes sense considering this time of the year. A lot of people are getting together with family and friends, so that makes a lot of sense. But with Venus showing up there and also the Empress, this month is definitely gonna be a glow up month for you. So you're starting out not bad with the Empress in the first position, but by the end of the month, you are gonna have a significant increase of your attractiveness and your beauty. And it's mostly gonna come from you taking care of yourself, taking care of your health, you know. Even if you're watching your diet, you're most likely going to be compelled towards healthier food choices as opposed to, you know, just going on fad diets. Okay, this is pretty much what I have for you, pile number 1. I hope you have enjoyed this reading. It has been a long reading. I hope, like I said, really hope you enjoy it. And if you have, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel. Click on the notifications bell if you want to be notified when I upload a new tarot reading. Also, feel free to comment in the comment section with any feedback you would like to share, as long as you keep it respectful, and or suggestions for future topics that you would like me to cover in this channel. I will take them into account. Also, if you would like to support my channel further, you can do so by clicking on the join button, becoming a member in exchange for a small monthly fee. You can also do so by donating or leaving a tip through the buttons under any of my videos, basically, about leaving a tip. Also, of course, sharing this video with as many people as possible. That would help a lot. And then if you're interested in a private tarot reading, you can find more information about that in the video description. I've left my email address there. You can email me for reading options, a full list of prices, and I've also left a link to reviews I have gotten for private readings before. Might help you decide if you want to get a reading from me or not. And last but not least, I also have an astrology channel, which I have had for much longer than this channel, where I focus mainly on Vedic astrology, but I also use my insights in all kinds of other systems of astrology, also tropical, because I have more than 20 years of experience in reading horoscopes, more than 10 in reading Vedic astrology. So yeah, I use my knowledge in all kinds of esoteric fields on my channel, but primarily it's a Vedic astrology channel, and I also use the sidereal zodiac. I mentioned that because a lot of people are still asking me about it under my videos, yeah. So anyway, this has been it. Thank you once again for listening, and I hope to see you at my next tarot reading. Bye! Welcome, pile number 2. This is your reading if you have chosen this card over here. Number 2, her herb garden, and or this red jasper crystal. So this is going to be the card selection phase. You can add, I'm going to add timestamps. You can skip directly to the interpretation. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2, the people who chose the red jasper. What will the month of April 2025 bring for them? My voice is cracking up because I've been talking all day. I need to talk at my work, and after 10 hours at work, well, no, more like 9.5, here I am talking again. Let's see. We have King of Cups, we have Ten of Swords, we have Justice, we have Eight of Pentacles, Six of Wands, Six of Cups, we have Four of Swords, we have the Fool, we have Seven of Swords, Knight of Swords, so many swords, wow, Queen of Wands, Seven of Cups. Things are definitely going to be looking up by the end of this month. Let's get some oracle cards. Tell me, Spirit, about pile number 2. Tell me, Spirit, about pile number 2. What will the month of April 2025 bring for them? Tell me, Spirit, about pile number 2. The red jasper. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2, the red jasper. What is the month of April 2025 going to bring for them? Let me see. So we have Wolf Pathfinder. Release your past and start a new journey. You are a teacher and help others find their way. There will be challenges, but your soul is strong. Perseverance is your secret power. You have a love that endures. We have, oh my god. This card came out for pile number 1 as well. So if you feel drawn to it, definitely check it out. Oh, ooh. And here we have number 20, which is ruled by the moon. This looks like a riverbed that is very stylized or something. Let me see what it refers to, because these cards have a legend. Jardin. I can't believe it. Okay, they're in French. I'm not fluent in French, but I do understand jardin. It's a garden. I cannot effing believe it. And it says communauté publique vie sociale. So communauté, I think, actually. So community, public, social life. Anyway, it's about a garden, and hello, we have the same thing here, her herb garden. You know, when I saw this, she actually has roses here. When I saw this card, like, I immediately got that song in my head, which is an ancient song. I don't even know who sang it, where it's from. I don't know if it was British or American, but there was this song that was like, I beg your pardon, I never promised you a rose garden. Something about sunshine. I don't remember the lyrics, but oh my god, it's ancient, that song. That's the song that came to my mind for some reason. And then here we have 56. And oh, both of them, number 2 and number 20, both of them have the garden and the number 20, which boils down to a number 2, which is ruled by the moon in numerology. Anyway, we have silver, 56, and here again we have the number 2. I cannot. We have 5 plus 6, that's 11. 1 plus 1 equals 2. That's numerology. All right. Actually, number 11 is a master number. It's like a more developed number 2. Silver, feminine, causal, chakra, air. Let's see what the booklet says about this. Let me see. Where is it? Okay. I am silver. I am compassionate. I give hope at times when you feel there is none in sight. Meditate with me and I will nurture, protect, support, stabilize, and balance your nerves. Motivate yourself. Stimulate self-improvement. Listen to your intuitions and I will support you in all that you will do. If you are feeling out of balance, look to your feminine side and be sensitive to all your relations. I am versatile. I am awakening. Deep. Okay. Very deep. And makes a lot of sense with the Four of Swords here. Whenever I get the Four of Swords, the first thing that I think about is meditation. So right now, actually, I think many of you, honestly, I think, have already slowed down in recent history from your usual lifestyle. I'm not trying to throw words around like minimalism or something. I think emotionally, you have tried to tone down, you've tried to, like, how should I put it, take a step back from all the stimulation that you've had to deal with maybe in the past. So King of Cups and the Four of Swords underneath, this already shows me that you are in this moon energy when you come across this reading. So you're very much focused on your inner landscape. You're very much empathic. And I think you're slowing down with the Four of Swords because the Four of Swords is about rest. Now, what exactly led to this, I cannot see. For some of you, I'm sure it could have been burnout. For some of you, it could have been like you just decided, that's it, you're not happy with being very busy. You need to, take a step back. You need to relax more. But this is you in the presence here. You're already, I wouldn't be surprised if many of you are maybe already into yoga or meditation or, mindfulness practices, writing down journals and stuff like that. Because this is about healing the emotional self. The Ten of Swords and the Fool. I have to say, pile number 2. I just realized pile number 2, and you have so many 2s. I'm sorry, Spirit sometimes is really predictable, isn't it? No offense, Spirit. Do we have a number on this card? No. Wolf Pathfinder. But wolf also kind of makes me think of the moon, because wolves howl at the moon. They're nocturnal. So, yeah. Anyway, there's like a moon theme going on here in this spread. But going back to the Ten of Swords and the Fool, I think this is about you having hit rock bottom in recent history. Ten of Swords literally is a card of exhaustion. Like, literally, you are one with the ground. Like, there's, some of the sayings that I would connect to the Ten of Swords would be, once you hit rock bottom, the only way to go is up. And it's always darkest before the dawn. Those are the things that I would think about. So that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting from you, actually. And throughout this month, actually, it's the fact that you hit rock bottom and you're going through a new chapter. Like, you are slowly awakening like a phoenix from the ashes with that Fool energy. Actually, let me clarify the Fool. Spirit, please clarify the Fool card for me. Please clarify the Fool card for me. Please. Oh my gosh. The Sun. Again, another song I'm getting is, I always get that song in my head when I see the sun. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I said it's alright. It's from the Beatles. So, a very positive, like, optimistic new chapter. This is what I'm seeing here for you, pile number 2. I just realized, oh my god. No, it's too much. It's too much. Okay, I'm gonna say it. It's complicated, but we have Ten of Swords, 0, the Sun, number 19. So the Ten of Swords and the Sun, numerologically, they both boil down to a number 1. And then it's like you go from 1 to 0 and then back to 1 again. You see what I'm talking about? It's like you're dipping so low that it's below sea level. And I don't mean like you're stooping low. That's not what I'm saying. Like you're lowering your standards or something. It's just that I really think most of you have gone through some really rough situations recently. And look at this. The Justice and the Seven of Swords in opposition. That is very on point. Okay, this is really specific, but and I hate saying this, there are two ways of looking at it, actually. Some of you, this could be about a karmic cycle, okay? Justice and the Seven of Swords, this could be you having to, the reason you have gone through some painful experiences in recent history was because you had to mend something you did, some wrongdoing you did, something involving deception or treason towards someone. If that's not the case, this is a very literal thing, like something is coming back to bite you in the butt, you know. Not right now, actually. I think this has already happened, or the worst of it is over in any case, you know, with that Ten of Swords in support and the Sun clarifying the Fool here. But I think some of you have gone through something really specific, and most likely it was either because of a karmic cycle or because of something you literally did in this lifetime. Like you wronged someone in some way. Maybe you cheated something. For some of you, it's literally a running with the law. You know, a run-in with the law. Oh yeah, I definitely see the horoscope of a workaholic here. Sorry, not horoscope, force of habit. A tarot spread of a workaholic. Look at this. This shows me that in the past you have worked yourself to the bone. You have Eight of Pentacles, you have Knight of Swords. You were overly zealous. You wanted to take over the world. You wanted to progress quickly. You put a lot of effort into developing some kind of skills or something professional, okay? Eight of Pentacles speaks of becoming really good at your craft, whatever that may be. So some kind of a passion, it could even be a hobby that was taking up a lot of your energy, but it really took up a lot of your energy to the point where I think you hit rock bottom. But then look at this. I mean, the future is very bright for you, pile number 2. The near future, the distant future, it's all looking very good. So, and I think this is because you will learn, well, you right now, you need a break, okay? So you're going through a well-deserved break. Some of you, again, you may have started in the recent past, it's still continuing, but you need a break, you need to slow down, you need to rest, you need to meditate. And as a result of this self-care, as a result of slowing down, you're actually going to head towards this really bright future. Look at this, the Six of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Are you kidding me? And I think a Queen of Wands especially, I've said this in other readings, is very much connected to emotional, healing the emotional self. So I think that Spirit is telling you that this period of rest, even though it may look like a setback from the surface, from the outside, it's actually going to catapult you towards greater success, because you're going to be able to heal yourself, to understand yourself to the point where you're no longer self-sabotaging, and you actually get a clearer picture of what you want out of life. The ultimate outcome is the Six of Cups and Seven of Cups. That's a lot of happiness. It's a lot of opportunities. It's multiple opportunities. And I also think that maybe some of you, again, this is a more specific message, but I think maybe some of you have had the blinkers on. Like you were chasing something, like a fish was chasing, you know, a worm on a fishing hook. And you didn't even see anything else except for that one thing that you wanted to get. And in the process, you failed to recognize opportunities that were maybe right in front of you, things that would have made you happier, could have brought you the things you wanted quicker, but you were busy burning yourself to the ground and having the blinkers on. So what I'm seeing here is that by the end of this month, you're actually going to see a lot of opportunities. A lot of opportunities might present themselves to you. Maybe you're going to have opportunities you wouldn't have had before. whether it's because you open your eyes and you see things differently, or it's literally because the fact that you have healed yourself and maybe improved your, I don't know, your behavior, your resume, or whatever it is that you have done during this period of taking a bit of a break. And whatever you have done is basically attracting opportunities towards you. Yeah, I mean, gardening, when you think about it, it makes so much sense. I mean, basically, the tarot, the oracle cards here, which are in the beginning and the end, the jardin, is like the garden, you know, her herb garden. It tells you all you need to know about this spread. This is you. You're going to be the gardener this month. This is you nurturing yourself. This is you watering your inner garden, you know. And this is about, I think it's Spirit telling you that periods of rest are necessary to replenish the soil, to, you know, how should I put it? To regenerate, really, in one word, to regenerate your resources. But this is the main vibe for the month of April for you. Let me get some astro cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. What is coming towards them in the month of April 2025? Okay. Mercury, mind and speech. We have some Gemini energy. We have sextile, chance and opportunity. We have Virgo, the alchemist. We have Cancer, the caring. Oh my gosh. Such a confirmation of the moon energy that came out throughout this spread. And we have Pluto. Pluto also came out for pile number 1 again. So if you felt drawn to it, definitely check it out. But only if you felt drawn to it. So Pluto is just showing you that this is a time of transformation. And I have to say, with the Queen of Wands and the Cancer, this is definitely showing that some of you need to work through some stuff. The Queen of Wands especially, like I said, speaks of having a dark side, of a self-sabotaging side. You know, you would definitely benefit from going to therapy, or at the very least, you know, explore methods of healing yourself. Like journaling, like I said, meditation, yoga, things that will help bring, you know, that mind-body balance, and taking care of yourself. And also the Virgo makes me think of gardening, to be honest. Virgo is a naturalist, in the sense that, not in the sense that they like to walk around naked, but naturalist as in the traditional definition of the word, which is someone who's interested in nature, someone who is interested in natural sciences. So it makes me think, some of you might literally be gardening this month, okay? I mean, it is April. In the northern hemisphere, this is the time to, you know, plant stuff and get the garden ready and all that. So either way, and also Virgo is about perfecting yourself. It's also about self-preservation, though. So I'm getting this recurrent theme that this month you're going to take care of yourself a lot more. And it's coming from understanding and respecting your needs. And being like, okay, that's it. I feel like I'm about to burn out. I need to take a break. And with Mercury and Virgo, both of them, they're very curious. They're very focused on communication. So I wouldn't be surprised if you also were very focused on learning, maybe communicating a lot more. Doing a lot of stuff online, definitely, because Mercury is also the online environment. And sextile is really hinting towards the soft energy that's going to govern this month. So this is a time of self-love, self-healing, nurturing yourself and others. Because, hello, taking care of others is actually a great way to heal. I remember there was something along these lines said in Viktor Frankl's Man's Quest for Meaning. Something about how people during the Holocaust, you know, they found that the people who survived the Holocaust did it by taking care of others. So being in that Cancer energy of nurturing towards yourself, towards others, that is the way to go this month, the way to actually progress the quickest, even though it may not seem like it is the right path on the surface. Let me see. Tell me, Spirit, about pile number 2. What is coming towards them in April 2025? Oh my gosh, we have the Venus. This one came out for pile number 1. A lot of stuff is coming out for pile. And we have the number 9, which can be, again, anger and number 9. And we have Taurus. Talk about gardening. Taurus is very much connected to, you know, enjoying things through the 5 senses. And whenever I think of Taurus, I always think about Baloo from the Jungle Book. Bare necessities, or Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder of my great home. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up. But it's like that vibe of, again, oh my god, Baloo was like, you know, wandering through the jungle while singing that, you know, wondering at the magic of nature and life and everything. So this is you in the month of April. You're taking some time to literally smell the roses. Again, oh my god, the images are insane. Yeah. And I think Spirit ultimately is giving you its blessings. We have Venus, we have Taurus. So here's the thing. It's not just that you're going to be able to take time off. I think Spirit is also telling you you're going to be taken care of. It's like you can relax this month, okay? I'm not trying to say you're going to be swimming in money, but things are going to arrange themselves in such a way that you're not going to have to worry, you know, too much about how you're going to make ends meet, or you know, things are going to work out financially. I actually see things coming in for you in terms of finances, new opportunities, new wealth. Venus is very much connected to money. And again, this is a similar theme with pile number 1, but I think for most of you, this could be a very good time for a glow up. With all the Virgo and the Venus, this is a time to focus on diets, of taking care of yourself, you know, healing yourself and your body. And definitely quieting the mind. Mercury is prone towards anxiety because of the connection to overthinking and everything. But yeah, and also with the number 9 coming out twice, which is connected to Mars and anger, I think Spirit is just telling you that this is a month when you're going to let go of anger. You know, you're going to be, again, smelling the roses. You're not going to have time for drama. Either that, or you're going to find healthy ways to direct your anger. Like, I don't know, do some really angry gardening, for instance. Some very angry weeding out of the weeds. But yeah, this is pretty much, oh, and also, of course, Mars can be physically active in general, so you might just feel compelled to be more physically active this month. Okay, so this is what I see for you, pile number 2, and I hope you have enjoyed this reading, and if you have, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, click on the notifications bell if you want to see when I will upload a new reading. Also, feel free to comment in the comment section with any feedback you would like to share or ideas for future topics that you'd like me to cover. You can do anything in the comment section as long as you keep it respectful. Also, if you would like to get a tarot reading from me, check out the video description. I have left more information. I've left my email there. You can contact me for more details, reading options, prices, and waiting time, and all those details. You can find that out if you email me. I've also left a link in the video description to reviews I have gotten for private readings before, in case you want to check them out. Might help you decide if you want to get a reading from me. And also, if you would like to support my channel further, you can do so by clicking on the join button, becoming a member in exchange for a small monthly fee, also leaving a tip through the tip option on any of my videos, sharing this video with as many people as possible. Of course, all of those things would help a lot. And last but not least, I also have an astrology channel where I focus mainly on Vedic astrology, but also with some tropical insights. I have more than 20 years of experience reading horoscopes, more than 10 of reading Vedic astrology. And yes, that means that I use the sidereal zodiac, because many people have asked me that before. I use the sidereal zodiac coupled with a whole sign house system, just like traditional Vedic astrologers do. But I also use a lot of my insights from tropical astrology, as well as other esoteric / metaphysical sources of knowledge, such as numerology, Chinese astrology, Batsa, Ziwei Doshu, even the Mayan zodiac, feng shui, all kinds of stuff. All right. But mostly my channel is about Vedic astrology. So if you're curious about astrology, go ahead and check it out. Maybe subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you at my next tarot reading. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. This is your reading if you have chosen number 30, When Fretful Times Come, and or this milky quartz crystal. This is going to be the card selection phase. I'm going to add timestamps so you can skip directly to the interpretation. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. What is the month of April 2025 going to bring for them? We have the Empress. We have the World. We have the Sun. I'm losing my voice, sorry. We have Queen of Swords. We have Seven of Pentacles. Let's see, Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. What is the month of January? Sorry, oh my god, why did I say January? The month of April 2025. What is the month of April 2025 going to bring for them? Tell me, Spirit. Oh my gosh. Tell me, Spirit. Alright, so we have Page of Wands, we have Seven of Swords, we have Ten of Wands, we have the Tower, we have the Queen of Wands, and we have the Five of Pentacles. Okay, let's get some oracle cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. What is the month of April 2025 going to bring for them? Spirit, what is the month of April 2025 going to bring for them? Spirit, what is the month of April 2025 going to bring for my pile number 3? So let's see, we have 54 amethysts, masculine, 6th chakra, earth. 54 boils down to a number 9 that's ruled by Mars, and here we have 30, which is ruled by Jupiter. And let's see, we have Coyote, revealer of truth. Don't take things too seriously, make time to play. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. All right. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. This card came out for pile one of the other 2 piles. I'm not going to say which one, but if you felt drawn to one of the other piles, definitely check them out. Okay, so this is the Jardin. So it's connected to garden, and actually let me see exactly what words were associated to it. Let's see. Community, public, and social life. So it's connected to the number 20, which is ruled by the moon. And then we have 16, karma. Wow. 16, which boils down to a number 7 in numerology, which is actually ruled by Ketu. I wonder if whoever made these cards is aware of Ketu being connected to past lives. I'm guessing they might be. So yeah, there might be something about past life karma. There could be something about you going through a karmic cycle right now. But let's see the description for this card, number 54. I am amethyst. I am the healer stone. I energize stones, crystals, and people by attracting positive forces while repelling and removing negative energies. I am here to tell you to take charge of your own thoughts, follow visions, be who you are, walk your talk. I am the stone of the higher self, new spiritual awakenings, the unlimited power of knowledge through inner journeys and intuitive perceptions. You need to see beyond and look for the best, not the most practical. I am grounding and stabilization that soothes emotions. I am purification. All right, so there's a repeated theme already here of you following kind of like your inner voice here. Coyote, revealer of the truth. I've actually heard some kind of a spiritual teacher, I don't remember who it was exactly, or a healer who was working with crystals, actually say that amethyst is like a truth stone or something. Like it's drawn to people that are very truthful, or people that are very truthful are drawn towards amethyst. So that would definitely make sense in this context, because you have a repeated theme of like revealer of truth and staying true to yourself and all that. So let's start with the cards here. We have the Empress, we have the Page of Wands underneath. So this is you when you are coming across this reading. Basically, you are not in a bad spot, really. It's interesting that you have this card actually that says when fretful times come. And we also have the moon there, really big. Anyway, I digress. So basically, you're not in a bad spot. I think that first of all, with the Empress, you're feeling cute. The Empress is very much Venusian energy, so it shows a sense of, you know, feeling pretty good about yourself, thinking, especially as a woman, because the Empress is a very feminine energy. So it can be, you know, being in that nurturing, soft energy, and it can also show that you feel pretty attractive, and you also feel really comfortable in your feminine energy. And with the Page of Wands underneath, I think there's a sense of playfulness and enthusiasm right at the beginning of this month. So things are actually looking pretty positive. And now it's followed by the World and the Seven of Swords. So what is going to support you throughout the month of April is your ability to be strategic. So this actually goes hand in hand with that Coyote card. Just realized that it wasn't showing properly. So the Coyote card that speaks about don't take things too seriously, make time to play. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. So that is clearly a message from Spirit that you are learning to become strategic, that you are learning to, on the one hand, become more emotionally detached, maybe not get so worked up about little things. And on the other hand, you're learning strategic thinking, you know, for instance, not being as reactive maybe, or not, like I said, just not getting worked up about things that normally don't really matter in the grand scheme of things, right? So it's overall learning an art of detachment. This is what's going to support you throughout the month of April. At the same time as you cultivating a broader perspective on life. So the World, which again is ruled by 21, which again boils down to a number 3 in numerology, speaks of expanding your horizons. It speaks of a sense of wonder and exploration. And it speaks of someone who has a broad perspective of things, you know, a broad perspective on life, on the world, sees things from like an eagle's eye perspective, you know. You see the big picture, basically. So your ability to detach, to see the big picture, that's what's going to get you success and what you want in the month of April. And then we have the Sun and we have the Ten of Wands. This is a very clear message that I don't want to offend anyone, but I feel like in this group, there might be some control freaks. And I don't mean to sound judgmental, because I know about the traumas that lead to someone becoming a control freak. Also with the sun showing up, I mean, the sun is the control freak energy. I mean, hello, anybody who has placements in Kritika or Uttara Falguni or Uttara Shadha or has been around these people will attest to that, right? Sun is very much a control freak energy, and the reason I mentioned those names is because those are sun ruled nakshatras, right? Those of you who come from Vedic astrology probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But those of you who don't, I just told you. So you might actually be someone with a sun dominant energy in your horoscope. That could actually be a thing. But irrespective, there are control themes here, and Spirit is clearly telling you to stop trying to take care of everything yourself. So the 10 of Wands under the sun clearly shows that you are someone who does not want to delegate. You might not trust people. You want to do everything yourself. You know, you're definitely the kind of person who probably often says, if you want something done right, just do it yourself. And again, I'm not trying to minimize your suffering or anything or your traumas, and I'm sure that there are reasons behind adopting this kind of line of thinking, but Spirit is clearly telling you that you need to start to move away from this mentality because it's holding you back in some ways. I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly how, but I have some ideas. At the very least, you know, you're probably wasting time on things that could be taken care of by someone else when you should be, you know, focusing on the things you really care about. So this also falls back on that theme of learning to detach, learning to play the game, basically. So being strategic, maybe learning the art of diplomacy as well, learning how to delegate tasks, how to rely on people to do their bits and pieces so that you can relax and focus on the big picture. For some of you, of course, this could be in a very literal sense. Maybe it has to do with your job, like you don't want to delegate stuff that you could delegate, for instance. But irrespective of whether it's with your job or not, this shows kind of control freak tendencies, you know, a tendency to want to do everything yourself just because you don't trust other people. And yeah, mostly because you don't trust other people, really. That's what it boils down to. And then we also have the Queen of Cups and the Tower. The Tower under the Queen of Cups. This is intense. All right, I need to get a clarification. Please clarify the Tower, Spirit. Please clarify the Tower. Oh, wow. We have Judgment. Oh, my God. Yeah. Y'all are seeing this? You probably already know. Some of you already know what I'm about to say. Judgment and Karma. I think in the recent past, or maybe for multiple, like repeated times in the past, actually, you have gone through some painful endings. And with the Judgment showing up there, now this could literally have to do with some kind of a situation where you were judged. This could be an exam, for instance, like you have failed an exam that you really cared about, or you just got a lot of criticisms, maybe at work, maybe you had to deal with naysayers, with even bullies of different kinds. But the Judgment, even if that does not resonate at all, none of those things resonate, the Judgment speaks of some kind of a karmic thing that you have had to go through. But I think, well, not I think, actually, I'm certain, based on this card placement, that this is the past, all right? So the Queen of Cups, clarified by the Tower, clarified by the Judgment, this is the past you. And this is why I think some of you have gone through some really painful karmic cycle in recent history where you have got to, you've had to deal with a lot of suffering, a lot of pain, a lot of collapse. Maybe a lot of collapse of things that you really cared about. Where sometimes maybe even to the point where you felt like the ground was, you know, taken from underneath you. And then we have the Queen of Swords clarified by the Queen of Wands. Awesome. So this is very clearly showing that in the near future, now I've said this in another group, near future is a pretty relative term. Take it how it resonates. You know, for some people, near future could be next month. For other people, it could be next year, you know. But in the near future, you will become way more in control of your emotions. And I don't mean like you won't be feeling emotions. I mean, you will feel a lot more in control. Like maybe you are someone who has had anger issues, mood swings, tendencies towards depression. But with the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands underneath, this shows that you are learning to trust your intuition. And instead of falling prey to emotions, you will learn how to understand your emotions and become way more intuitive. Queen of Swords is also an energy that does not have any patience for fools, doesn't tolerate fools, is a very no-nonsense sort of energy. It's connected to Aquarius. Both the Queen and the King of Swords are connected to Aquarius. So I wonder if some of you have placements in Aquarius as well, like Satapishak Nakshatra especially, which is kind of blunt. Or Purva Bhadrapada, which is even more blunt. Or Dhanishta. So any placement in Aquarius. Those are nakshatras, by the way, again, which are Vedic astrology concept. So either way, by the end of this month, you are becoming way more in control of yourself. You're, you know, on top of your game emotionally and psychologically. And the Queen of Wands also speaks of a self-sabotaging nature. And I think that in this case, it's actually you overcoming a lot of those self-sabotaging tendencies by the end of the month. Or in the near future. Okay, so I have to say this could transcend the end of the month because the near future, well, it's the near future, like I said, can be a bit of a relative term. And the ultimate outcome here is 7 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles. This is clearly showing me that if you have had any kind of financial struggles or worries, they are going to be sorted out. 5 of Pentacles is like unexpected gains, unexpected resources. It's like even when you feel like all is lost, you are backed up by supernatural forces that always make you land on your feet. Definitely abundance is what I'm seeing. Okay, let me get the Astro cards now. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. What is coming towards them in the month of April 2025. Tell me, Spirit. We have sextile, chance and opportunity. We have 6th house, work and routine. We have Cancer, the caring. We have Mars, drive and power. Not surprising because you have that amethyst card with the number 9. Like I said, number 9 is ruled by Mars. And we have 2nd house, resources and values. Okay, so a lot of confirmations. The number, well, the moon energy. And again, I would still connect the moon or Cancer energy to karma as well, because it has that number 16, which makes me think of the south node of the moon, K2. Because the number 7, even though I haven't read this anywhere, just based on the description of what the number 7 stands for in numerology, I would say it's very much connected to the archetype of K2 in astrology, which is the south node of the moon. Has to deal with past lives, incarnations, karmas from past lives. It also has to deal with intuition, everything that's kind of like, you know, a little bit woo-woo and outside of what we see, touch, feel, and smell. So I would say that throughout this month, you are working through understanding your emotions and getting in touch with your intuition. And I think you're also becoming more physically active and more focused on being honest to yourself and maybe even towards others. Yeah, second house also speaks of you getting close to the family of origin. It also speaks of your finances increasing, especially your savings and maybe fixed assets as well, or money that is coming off of fixed assets. The sixth house also shows that you might be dealing with some competition this month, some enemies, some naysayers. That could definitely be a thing. But on the other hand, this also shows that you are very focused towards work and that you're going to get good results because of this focus, because of this discipline. You might also be rethinking your daily routines, taking care of your health a lot more, and maybe also spending more time on pets or with pets. Yeah. I also think you might be rethinking your diet. This is actually similar to one of the other piles. I don't even remember which one it was, and I wouldn't tell you anyway. But if you felt drawn to one of those other piles, definitely check it out. Basically, because I see a glow up in the cards for you, basically. So you start out with the Empress, so I think you're feeling cute, like I said. But by the end of the month, you could be seeing a significant glow up because I see a lot of focus on the physical body, taking care of yourself, watching your diet as well. Okay, this is pretty much what I see. So let me get the Astro Die Spirit. Tell me, what can you tell me for pile number 3? What is the month of April 2025 gonna bring for them? Okay, so we have the number 9. We have Cancer again, such a strong confirmation. And we have Pluto, which is the planet of transformation. So this is reinforcing the fact that, well, on the one hand, you're going to go through some heavy psychological stuff, okay? Because we have the Pluto, we have Mars, so and we have that K2 energy, so there's a lot of connection to Scorpio, which is the sign of psychology and psychotherapy and research in general and getting to the bottom of things. So I really think that see how it resonates. If you are someone who has been going to therapy for a while, you might be hitting some kind of a breakthrough this month. But there's some kind of huge improvement on the psychological front, definitely. And also with respect to your health, like if, for instance, if you've had health issues that nobody could figure out or you weren't really sure about them, this month you're going to get to the bottom of whatever was causing it and, you know, have high chances of getting treatment. And the number 9 also says that you're going to be focused on issues surrounding faith and optimism and higher philosophy and expanding one's horizons. So travel also in one word, because you also have the World card. So some of you might actually be traveling this month. And or you could be focused on getting a education, whether it's formal or just, you know, some courses and listing and things. And pay extra attention to any course or book that you feel drawn to throughout the month of April, because there's probably a strong reason why you feel drawn to it. There's something you need to learn out of it. Same things with movies or TV shows that you feel like watching. Alright, so this is pretty much what I have for you, pile number 3. I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you have, once again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click on the notifications bell, comment in the comment section with anything that you would like to share, as long as you keep it respectful. Also, feel free to make suggestions of you know, topics that you would like me to cover on this channel. I do take them into account. And also, if you would like to support my channel further, you can do so by clicking on the join button under any of my videos and become a channel member in exchange for a small monthly fee. You can also leave a tip, or you can share the video with as many people as possible. That would all be very appreciated. It would help me a lot. Aside from that, if you would like to get a private tarot reading from me, you can check out the video description for more information. I have left my email address there, so you can email me for a pricing list as well as reading options and other details about how to get a reading from me. I've also left a link in the video description to reviews I have gotten for private readings before, just in case you want to check them out. Might help you decide if you want to get a reading from me or not. And aside from that, I have an astrology channel, which I have opened a lot later, how should I put it, a longer time ago than this channel. Quite some time ago, actually. I think it will be close to a decade since I've had that channel. And I've also been into Vedic astrology for more than a decade. And I've been reading horoscopes for more than 20 years, actually, in various systems. So anyway, on my channel, I mostly focus on Vedic astrology, which uses the sidereal zodiac and the whole sign house system. But I also use my insights from various other systems of astrology or esoteric knowledge, such as, well, Chinese astrology, Batsa, Ziwei Doshu, Feng Shui, numerology, the Mayan zodiac, and of course tropical astrology, which I am very familiar with. And sometimes I will use insights from tropical into my readings, but for the most part, I stick to Vedic astrology and Vedic techniques on my channel. So anyway, if you are curious about astrology, go ahead and check out my astrology channel. Maybe subscribe to it. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you at my next tarot reading. Bye!